Is it a national security threat right now? Let's ask former State Department official David Tafuri on the security troubles that Scotland could face in that event. What do you think, Dave?
Well, I think this is a very interesting issue. This would be unprecedented in many ways. No country has been formed recently that didn't come out of either collapse or conflict. So some of our newest countries are Kosovo, but that came from the collapse of Yugoslavia. South Sudan, which came out of the conflict in Sudan. This is very different. Scotland will be formed out of the United Kingdom, which is peaceful, which is successful, which is wealthy. And also, you see that England, while opposing the independence of Scotland, is willing to accept it and has signaled that it will accept it if the vote turns out to be a yes. So that's very different. This is also very interesting because it will likely inspire other places, other regions that want to be independent. Look at Spain, very close to England. The Catalan region is chomping at the bit to become independent. The government in Madrid, of course, opposes that. There are also other places in the Middle East and North Africa where independence movements are moving forward as well. They will also likely be inspired.
You know, you raise a very good point about how peaceful and maybe democratically this is going in Scotland, but more often than not, such breakaway efforts, whether peaceful or not, tend to be problematic. And you just mentioned some of them with the breakup of the Soviet Union, of course, Yugoslavia and Sudan. Really, the one good example I could paint to, at least in recent memory, Dave, is maybe Czechoslovakia, when that broke up into the Czech Republic and Slovakia. But by and large, these don't go down well, do they?
Well, that's correct. You know, the breakup of Czechoslovakia into the Czech Republic and Slovakia, that appeared to go well, although, you know, I'm not sure they would do it again. I think there are many, especially in the Czech Republic, who regret that division. But that's one example in Europe where, you know, a division has occurred peacefully. In other places, there's quite a lot of conflict. There was a lot of conflict around the breakup of Sudan, certainly in former Yugoslavia. We see in the former Soviet states a trend with Russia now regretting the decision to let some of the former Soviet republics go. We see what's happening in eastern Ukraine with a lot of conflict occurring there as well.
You know, Dave, what I wonder about is, let's say this, those opposed to breaking up, you know, Scotland from the United Kingdom succeed. But it's a close vote. Wouldn't it still embolden other countries to say, all right, close vote there, we'll give it a shot here? And that within the United Kingdom itself, you could see Northern Ireland do it. You could see Wales do it. You spoke of these other regions, Catalonia in Spain, Quebec separatists who are in sort of drum up the interest in Scotland as we speak for this. That, in other words, win or lose, that temperament is alive and well.
I couldn't agree more. Win or lose, this is going to inspire other regions across the world. Look at, for instance, the Kurdistan region in Iraq. Iraq's been in the news a lot. The Kurdistan region no longer even has a border with the rest of Iraq because of ISIS. The Kurdistan region has faced oppression much more recently than the Scots have, with being gassed by Saddam Hussein in the 80s, and also you know, oppression from ISIS. And so you could also look at Libya as well. Eastern Libya, there are separatists there centered around Benghazi. There's conflict around that. They will be inspired by this, and there is a process here, and that's also very important. The UK set up a process, and I think that it will also embolden the separatist movements in Europe, like in Spain, and also in some of these other places.
Well put, David. Good having you again. Thank you very much.
Thank you.